Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com. If you want to call us, 844-551-8255. I got to tell you, I love social media in the sense of how it helps us prep for shows and things like that. It's fast. You go out to Google, you need to verify a story. Well, not always, but you can at least, go out there and look for stuff. You may, because it's, scraping conservative things, you have to try to find a real angle to it, but, it's out there. But Twitter is probably the fastest way for us to get the news of anything I've seen. People just post, bam, it's right there, discern it. I'm just telling you, it's really quick. And what's cool about it is it's opinionated stuff. It isn't, don't make any mistake about it. They'll put a link to, check out, Huffington Post and see this. But somebody would generally give you an opinion like, check this stupid article out. And so you have a perspective before you even go in. Now, if you're easily swayed, that may not be a good thing. I'm not easily swayed. I look at the person, I go, oh yeah, I know who that is. They're just a big old lefty. Or I go, this person's very introspective. This may be interesting. So you can sort of condition yourself to look for the news that you want to see. So long story short, I love looking at these tweets. And we're going to cover this a little bit later, but Donald Trump tweeted this: the reason I canceled my trip to London is I'm not a big fan of the Obama administration having sold perhaps the best located and finest embassy in London for peanuts, only to build a new one in an off location for $1.2 billion. Bad deal. Wanted me to cut the ribbon. No. So we'll talk about that. There's a Breitbart guy who makes comments around that particular thing, so we'll go there. There's a friend of mine, I used this tweet earlier in the broadcast. His name is Educating Liberals. And he said this, and it's so prophetic. Trump became famous as a TV star by making people compete for a job. Oprah became famous as a TV star by giving away expensive gifts. This perfectly sums up the polar opposite mentalities between Republicans and Democrats. And it's very true. And it's the whole reason why Oprah Winfrey will never be president. I can tell you that. I'm not having one of these Robert Oliver moments or Barack Obama moments. Oprah Winfrey will never be president of the United States. She should be happy to be president of Harpo Studios or whatever she is, because she's a fraud. And look, I don't even care that Oprah's a fraud. The old fake it till you make it, redid her whole story to make it seem like, all her promiscuity, she blamed on men. They took advantage of me. No. You just gave it up, and now you want to put a new spin on it. And in fact, there's a meme that floats around about Oprah, and here's the one of the things I remember. It says, you lecture people on morality or marriage, yet you have been in a relationship, unmarried relationship with Stedman for decades. So it was contrasting the things that Oprah would say versus what she did. And it was such the guy whoever put it together did a really good job, because it really showcased the hypocrisy of the left as it pertains to Oprah. And I thought, wow, yet again, here it was. She's a spokeswoman for Weight Watchers, spokesperson for Weight Watchers, but can't control her weight. Tell you how to run your own marriage, but can't commit to marriage. Lecture about racism, but 90% of her own network TV schedule features all black cast. Tells you how to raise your kids, but she doesn't have any. Knew about Harvey Weinstein, but supports the Me Too movement. And that's just a few of them. Just to put things in perspective. I love when people come up with this stuff, because that's the cleverness of conservatism. When we can point out these silly hypocrisies of the left. And Twitter is where, I'm not going to say most, but where a lot of the stuff comes from. And that's why I enjoy looking at the stuff on Twitter, because it's a quick snapshot of what's inside of somebody's head. That's why people follow my Twitter feed. Here's what Elizabeth Warren tweeted. Dreamers aren't bargaining chips. They aren't pawns in real Donald Trump's, that's his Twitter name, game. We made a promise. We said we'd come out of the shadows and be fully woven into the fabric of America, because that's who you are. In America, we work hard and dream big, and we must keep our promise to dreamers. That's what she tweeted. Do I really need to go there? A woman who stole dreams of American, of Native Americans, because she could get ahead in her life, and then tells us that we made promises to dreamers. We didn't make any promises to dreamers. It's a big batch of emotion. By the way, have you heard this woman talk? She always sounds like her voice is about to cry. It's funny to me, man. Oh boy, we made promises woven into the fabric of America. We are as diverse as you could possibly be. We don't need a new set of dreamers in order to have any more diversity. The left can just give up on this idea. Mark Dice said this: an estimated 500,000 to 1 million Rwandans were massacred by being hacked to death with machetes, and you're telling that this country is not a crap hole. Or in Tanzania, where albinos are raped because many Africans believe they cure AIDS. Please. And he's exactly right. He's exactly right. I've been to one of those countries. I haven't been to Rwanda, but I've been to Tanzania. And he's exactly right. It's a huge problem with albinos there. And so there you go. But why did he come up with this? When did he come up with it? He brings attention to something that I even know about and didn't even tweet, but he brought it up because it was a flash in, somewhere else through something else. That's the cool thing about Twitter. James Wood says this, and it's so prophetic yet again. Why in God's name are we having to negotiate with our own government to obey the law? We have laws for legal immigration. Anyone who breaks those laws or enables another person to do so should be deported or imprisoned respectively. Why is this concept so dadgum difficult to grasp? And he used a different word, but so he's spot on. And what it is, it's like Donald Trump said earlier, it's common sense. There's nothing mystical and magical to figuring this out. This is common sense, and we don't use it. A guy named Kevin W. says this: if someone sneaks into Disney World and gets caught, security would arrest him and kick him out of the park. If someone sneaks into the country and gets caught, I should arrest him and send him back home. Both are illegal. Both should be treated exactly the same. No questions asked. Again, a person, Kevin W., using common sense, saying, look, I'm not trying to be mean-spirited here, but if Disney kicks you out of their park, is it racist? Is it sexist? Is it xenophobic? Or are they protecting their interest? This is where we are, folks. This is why when you think about the world, you ask yourself, when did it go so crazy? I have an answer for you, but I'm going to let you figure that out for yourselves, because it's happened around you as well. It didn't happen in the macro. It happened in these little battles, what I call micro battles. Battle at the water cooler, battle at the grocery store, battle at a family reunion or a dinner or something, where you shut up and you said, no, I'm not going to tell people what I think. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.